You're looking for that one special toy. You're looking to find that part of your collection that you can't find anywhere else. You want to come on down to Finster's Figures. He got everything. Anything you're going to want, he can probably find it. If you're looking for that Zat Megazord, or you're looking for that one Megazord that you just can't find the dragon part for, you go down to Finster Figures. If you need to have those classic collection that Sam got of those 1998 walkie-talkies, you go to Finster Figures. He got them in stock. And if he doesn't get them in stock, he can find them for you. If you can't find them for you, he's going to go and steal them from Sam. That again is Finster Figures on 4th and 35th Street.
Welcome again to this episode of Zero to Hero. I hope all you grid travelers have found the right podcast to listen to. Thanks again for joining another episode of Zero to Hero.
Zero to what?
Zero to Hero.
With what? Like to hero?
Yeah, to hero.
Now, can we please remind people that there's no R in Zeo?
There's no R in Zeo.
And who are you?
I'm Billy. Who are you?
I don't know anymore.
Oh my God, this interrogation has gone totally wrong.
This is an interrogation?
Yeah. So,
Grammar, let's do this.
So, Jim, we are going to be joined tonight by not one of the two. Well, no, I messed up. Okay, hold on. Let me try that again.
I'm leaving it in.
Yeah. All right, Jim. Tonight, we're joined by one of the two double dragons. If you don't know what that was an old cut from an old show. Right?
Show?
Show. Me no word impossible.
Okay, you know the funny part is, so the Double Dragons is Billy and Jimmy Lee, and we're Billy and Jimmy, and it was the most confusing thing.
It was. We were, anyways.
Yeah.
But if y'all have man, I cannot word properly tonight.
Did you take a nap today?
No, I didn't.
Oh, this whole episode's ruined, guys. Sorry.
Right.
We'll see you guys next week.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not?
So, if you ever listen to our episode that we posted where we were on the Reluctant Adult podcast, we actually have turned the tables here, and we have Paul from the Reluctant Adult podcast. Man, no, not Bill, but Paul.
Couldn't get Bill. Yeah,
couldn't get the
Paul.
double. Yeah. But hey, Paul, thanks for joining us tonight. I know it was kind of like a short notice thing because it was just what I messaged you like 2 days ago.
Been waiting for like several months for this.
Oh man, I'm just, like that just made me feel so inadequate.
we were talking about like the day after. We were gonna do like a reaction video to the 30th anniversary special.
Yeah,
like a month ago at this point.
To be fair, we had some bad news right around that time, and things got weird.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah, that one stung.
Something really bad. Yeah. Whew,
yeah.
Man. Good times though. All right. Well, I think we're going to talk about some things, including toys.
Definitely. You're going to hear a lot of rustling too, because, three big dudes trying to open boxes. We're going to be a lot of wheezing.
I thought you said wrestling.
No.
I was like, so what do you think about Roman Reigns? Do you think he's got too many belts?
Honestly, okay, so I don't
chief.
follow a lot of the wrestling. I just kind of have it on the background now lately, which is a little alerting to me. But
sure.
But Roman Reigns though, like what happened to is he still a part of like the USA or what are they called?
So they are Roman Reigns and the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and then Solo, who's a new character. I'm not as familiar with him. I think he is he's the younger brother of the Usos, and the Usos are twins. And there's an ongoing controversy with the Mattel, who makes the WWE action figures, that the head, even though they are twins, they're not identical twins. They're fraternal, so they don't look exactly the same. But the controversy is that it looks like the head that they are using for both Jimmy and Jay is the same head, based off the same person. So it's like there are no Jimmy Uso action figures. They're all versions of Jay Uso.
Oh, well, that ain't awkward.
So, and of course, Mattel's not going to come out and say like, oops. Like, so it just remains one of those controversies that,
how you fix this, right? Mm-hmm. Mike Tyson face tattoo.
Oh, there. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: they have very different hair. So the hair is always different, but the face, like the scan that they use for the action figure, it looks like the same guy. People who know these guys, that work with these guys, that can tell the difference, that see them, that saw them every day up close, they say it's the same guy represented in both characters. So
does Mattel do tattoos on their figures?
They do. So this could end up being like a big deal, because there was that lawsuit from Randy Orton's tattoo artist. And she wanted money for the tattoos as they appear in the game, because she's saying it's original art.
Yeah.
And there's some merit to that, except it's on another human being's body and they paid for it. So I feel like you relinquish any sort of control you have over this art when it lives on another person's body. But the court, I think, sided with her.
Yeah.
But the amount of money she got was very small, so I'm not sure if it was like a full, like,
if I
fully
right,
on her side. If I
remember, they had to take the tattoos off the game models, and then
did they?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I think that's why
it's copyright stuff.
Yeah. I think that's why Hasbro didn't put their the tattoos on the basketball player figures.
Yeah, the starting lineups. So that's like the ripple effect of this. If that is why Hasbro decided not to even attempt any of the tattoos, which makes certain characters look very strange, because they are very, very tattooed up.
Yeah.
So to have just clean arms, it just looks weird.
And for a line, take a Sharpie and just hit the arm, like, let's go.
Oh, I know. I'm sure there are people out there that are selling like the little like the tempo tattoos or whatever you do.
That would work.
That's always been big business, but now, I mean, it's almost required if you want a complete action figure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think those guys who did those tattoos ever thought they would be in the tattoo for action figures for basketball players game ever.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, you don't think about it until it's reality. It's like how we're dealing with a writer's strike now. No one ever thought that artificial intelligence would be getting to the point where it could write television shows.
Oh, yeah.
But that is the reality of the world.
Yeah. And that's scary thought, because, like, next thing you know, we got Arnold Schwarzenegger showing up in an electric ball looking for John Connor. That's the day I'm going to move away.
None of this was discussed in the Terminator. They got it totally wrong.
I know, like, completely backwards.
These are the jobs.
We even have a Skynet. Like, Microsoft bought Skynet. Like, this happened back in 2011.
Robots don't want to take over the world. They just want to be famous.
The funny part is? The funny part is, so AI is like coming in and taking away creative jobs. Like, that's the thing I think is weird.
Well,
like,
so yeah, I mean, it's taking jobs. I don't know if I would go as far as saying they're creative, because the jobs they're taking are like jobs where people write 17 blogs a day about rumors. So can you say that's creative? I don't know.
Probably not.
So art is a big one. That's
well,
big
sure.
One. Dolly 2 and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a big one. Taking art, and that's the creepy part. Like, and it's not bad. It's like, this is pretty solid stuff it's making. And like, I just never thought it would be art that or the creative side of the industries getting taken down by AI first.
How long has this strike been going on, and do you think
like a week?
What will it affect?
Yeah, it's early, but the last one, in 2000, I want to say 7, maybe even earlier than that. It went on 3 months. This one, I feel like the studios were ready. Like, they backlogged.
Well, this one's
content.
Planned. Yeah, this was planned.
They didn't even counter. The studios didn't even counter. So know that they're not in any rush to end it.
Well, the other big thing is a lot of those contracts for the higher up people in the production side are coming up in fall. So they're waiting for it.
Oh.
So his contracts are coming up, so they don't have to keep paying these people's contracts. It's there's a rule in place too, where if they go over like a 3 or 4 month period, like they can start cutting contracts altogether. So it's really weird. So I guess this is planned out.
Yeah,
and I've been following a little bit, not too heavily, but I've been kind of following it. But this seems kind of wrong.
Right.
Well, they're taking. I mean, the studios are completely taking advantage of writers, and they think that they're going to be able to survive. I don't know if they are really banking on AI this much, or they have like scab writers, or they're going to go fully reality TV.
Well,
But
the biggest problem is the fact that, all the new writers weren't getting work. It was up to the old writers, and they're not getting any work at all.
Yeah.
And it was so bad. Like, the whole situation is terrible.
It's bad. Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you think we're like in the midst of like watching cable TV like disappear?
So it's funny because cable, a lot of people cut the cord, myself included, and now we have 17 different apps that we pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we have cable. It's just we're paying 17 different people instead of one cable provider. So I could see a future where people are sick of paying all these different companies and they just go back to cable. But I think cable would have to do sort of an a la carte situation because people just want what they want. They don't want to pay for things they don't want.
Yeah,
and at least with over-the-top streaming, if you only care about The Mandalorian, well, there's like 9 months out of the year where you don't have to subscribe to Disney Plus then, and then you can catch up on everything you want. Except, here's the caveat, and this is what Disney is figuring out. If Disney takes content down from Disney Plus, then you can't pick and choose when you have the service. You have to have it year round, or you risk missing out because The Mandalorian's not on DVD. You can't own a physical version of that show. It's only available on Disney Plus.
Right.
Disney Plus and Pirate Life, but yeah.
Right. And you can only legally watch it on Disney Plus. Yeah.
Unless you have a copy from somewhere that was donated to you.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Because as long as you don't pay for it, it's not
sure
illegal.
the quality is super high on that,
Speaking of Mandalorian, what is your thoughts on this last season? Because like honestly, for me, I got kind of like thrown around different ways, and I felt like it wasn't Din Djarin's season.
No, not at all. It was a weird season because I think it was setting up a lot of things, not only for future seasons of The Mandalorian, but for other Star Wars projects like Ahsoka.
Oh.
And we were talking about this on our show on Saturday. The Skeleton Crew, does that take place during the same timeline of The Mandalorian?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be roughly in the same timeline, but not like right there.
Not the same.
What's the basis of Skeleton Crew? Because I've never heard of this.
I don't even really know. I know Jude Law's in it. Urkel, you remember Urkel from Family Matters? Jaleel White is in it. We found out, but beyond that, I don't really know anything. I think is this the show that has the Jedi Wookiee, or is that another one that's filming? Because there's something that's filming right
Wookiee.
now. Okay,
Oh.
So this one would happen. Sorry, let me rephrase my statement from earlier. This is happening during the Bad Batch.
Okay. Okay, so earlier.
So yeah, because if the Wookiee's still there, it's the Bad Batch era. Yeah,
so this is prior to Order 66.
Yes. Oh no, it's Order 66. It's just after that. It's
okay. So they haven't got all the Jedi
prior to
yet.
Luke becoming Luke getting cool.
Luke being the last Jedi, except there were like 17 other.
Yeah, the last Jedi
that Yoda knows of, I guess.
Now the Jedi Wookiee. Now does he communicate normally, or does he make Wookiee noises?
All Wookiees make the Wookiee noises.
I was going to say, Wookiees can't, like, are they incapable of speaking a different language?
No, they can only speak
Their
Wookiee.
vocal cords only work that way?
Yeah. Though you can speak Wookiee, like, you can speak and understand Wookiee, just...
Yeah.
They're the... they just can't speak any of the language. They're like, the Groot's, like, species, like, they only can say stuff in their language. But there's a lot going on up there, just they only speak one language.
It's like how like dogs can't say words, they bark, but other dogs understand what those barks mean.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is so impressive, though, to me.
But yeah, so like Han spoke Wookiee, and so did Luke didn't speak Wookiee at first, but he learned Wookiee over time.
Right.
By the time the second movie came around, he understood Chewie.
Yeah. Well, it's just like with Groot. Like did you see the new Guardians of the Galaxy?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I won't spoil it for you, but like the group knows what Groot is saying, but if you were new to the group, you wouldn't understand what Groot is saying. It takes a while.
What's the other one I was going to mention? No, I can't remember. Never mind. I'm good.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
What's another good show that I heard you probably talk about? Oh, Jury Duty.
Oh yeah,
dude,
that was great.
Episode
Did you watch
8
that?
It's a tearjerker on the episode 8.
So I just started it, and like I'm on episode 2. Like it's a little weird.
Oh, it's really funny though.
It's very unique. Yeah.
It's very unique. Yeah, it's got a really good perspective of it.
Well, they did such. I mean, it would have if they didn't pick the guy they picked to be the Mark, the one guy that doesn't know what's going on. It wouldn't have worked. Like they picked like a really good guy, also kind of dumb, like hasn't picked up on what's going on around him. But all those, I mean, really, there's a scene in the last episode where they cut something out of the script because they didn't think that there was any natural way to get there. But then the guy says the part about Family Guy and like how to get out of jury duty.
Yes, yeah.
And then like they show the control room and they're just like, oh my god, it happened! Like it happened naturally.
Yeah,
it was amazing. It's amazing.
They cut it and he says it.
Yeah, I know. They just got there and it was like such a good moment.
And then the guy actually says it in the courtroom. He's like, "Oh, I'm just kidding. You know, I'm not really racist."
Oh my god,
yes. It was so like I love improv. I study improv, and this is long form improv because they have the shape of a script. But they're with the guy 24 hours a day, some of them. Yeah. So a lot of it, you're just pretending to be this person that you're not. And it's very impressive.
I will give that guy, the roommate, the weird guy, I'll give him props because he had to stay in character the whole time.
Yeah, that was quite the character to stay in.
Oh, yeah, weird dude.
They gave him, so like that guy's deal was his character was very interested in prosthetics.
Yeah.
So every day, like he made chair pants that were like crutches that he cut and like put. So like when he would sit down, they would cushion him, so he wouldn't sit all the way down. So like all these weird things that would like end up being a disaster in practice, but like
I got to the ear they put the
prosthetic
Bluetooth
ear.
Yeah, it's prosthetic Bluetooth ear into the bag.
That was a little hokey. I like because there's like there are real earpieces. Like I don't know why it had to be in the shape of an ear. That's like I feel like they went a little too far. Like they were almost like daring the guy.
They're gonna find their stride in a couple episodes, and it kind of really takes off after that. Like the first 2 episodes were a little weird. I was like, okay.
Yeah. In the last episode, they kind of go behind the scenes of like what they were doing to push this guy's buttons, and he was completely oblivious. Like who goes to a crime scene like on jury duty?
Well, you can go. So here's the thing: you can go to the crime scene, but you definitely can't wander around. And like do your own investigation. Like it is there are very strict rules. Yeah, when you go on the field trip. Yeah,
like the mannequins, he was like, they're never gonna get that guy up there, and like they somehow got him up there because they saw some other people up there. The whole mannequin room.
In the last episode, they're explaining like, oh yeah, right. So they're trying to like if they don't get the Mark up there, they have like all these like backup plans to get him up there because the story hinges on him going and finding what's up in the room. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really funny.
Jesus. It's very good. It's just like such a unique experience.
And then like,
all right, I'll have to finish it. Like, that's on my,
oh god, you have to finish it. Yeah.
You got to. Yeah.
Clear your schedule. This takes priority.
Just
my
tell
lunch breaks are now open to watching this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, if you need to start watching right now, we'll finish the rest of this. You can just watch, and we'll
we got this.
We'll do like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, hey, good reference.
I've been wanting to do something like that. To be fair, like Mystery Science Theater 3000, like movie night with the zeotoheropod group. It's in the works.
During the pandemic, a lot of people were putting out content that was very similar to that, where they would release the audio track and you would have to like hit play on the movie at the right time.
Yeah.
But I've like, it's so hard to sync it correctly because there are ads and it's like, what format, like are you watching on Netflix or YouTube or DVD? So I feel like a lot of people tried that, but I don't know if people were like actually consuming that media. I think people just like needed something to do, and this was the excuse to do it.
That's like half my podcast, where half the podcasts I listen to are like that. Just like, it's noise.
Yeah.
So the question I have is, was the pandemic kind of like the kickstart of the Reluctant Adult podcast?
Actually, we started before because I had wanted to do a podcast. Well, so I was actually doing a podcast for work. At the time, I was working for a engineering college, so I started Lend Me Your Engineers. And it was just, I was very interested in hosting. I've always wanted to host. I always loved watching, growing up watching Conan O'Brien. I always wanted to have my own talk show. And then podcasting just presented itself, and it was an easy way to do that. So I always was doing that, but I wanted to do a show like that we're doing now, about toys, because that's what I can talk about. That's what I care about. So I was gonna do it, but I needed a host because I can't just talk by myself. It just wouldn't work. So there was somebody that I knew from. Do you know Palisades? Do you remember Palisades Toys? They made the Muppets back in the early 2000s. So they had a great message board back then, and there was a guy on there, and he was on Facebook. So I was like, hey, let's just try to do this podcast. And then the day that I scheduled to have him do a trial episode, a pilot, he flaked.
Oh.
And then he was very unresponsive. So I was like, well, this isn't going to work if we're going to do this every week. So my best friend still lived in Massachusetts, and I moved from there down here to Florida. And we had sort of fallen out of contact a little bit, but he was coming down once a year with his family for Disney trips. So towards the end of 2019, he was down, and I was like, hey, we should just do a podcast. And he's like, yeah, sure. And then we just did it. We were just like, whatever, let's do it. I think we used Zencaster at the time because it was free. And I Podbean would give you a couple hours free to try it. Yeah. So there was no expense to just try it. So we did it. We liked it. And then it was Halloween, which was a very one of our favorite seasons. So we started getting into the spooky stuff, and I always wanted to have a show so I could have a Halloween episode. It's the Halloween episode was always the best, of Roseanne and all the sitcoms, they had Halloween episodes. So then, we kept doing it, and then, the pandemic happened. and thank God we had this show, because it was an escape every week to do the show, and then to edit it and think about it and promote it. So I think if you asked Bill too, he was happy to have this one constant when everything else was just thrown up in the air. So we started before the pandemic. I don't know if the pandemic helped us continue it. Right. But other than the week that my second child was born, we haven't missed a week. So it's been good. It's been consistent.
So, since you collect all sorts of brands, was it actually easy to collect during the pandemic? Because for me, I only did Hasbro, so they had a lot of shipping problems.
Well, yeah, that's true. So everything got messed up because of the pandemic. It was just a ripple effect. So the ships couldn't come in, you couldn't unload the ships, so there was no product to be had for a big stretch there, and that pushed everything down. There was that domino effect of that. I'm trying to remember what I was collecting during. I feel there was a stretch where I wasn't really buying much. Before that, I remember I was getting the Power Ranger stuff, so that kept coming, and the new Ghostbusters had just come out, I believe, the Plasma series, because we moved houses, or we bought our first house during the pandemic. So I'm trying to think of what I had at our apartment, because that was the pandemic stretched from one house to the next. Oh. So it's the beginning of it, I was here, didn't have any space to put anything. So I remember getting the G.I. Joes and Ghostbusters, so a lot of Hasbro stuff. And then for Mattel, the wrestling stuff, I think I remember getting Ultimate Bret Hart. It must have been towards the end of that first year. So I've always collected WWE, but I've definitely, because there's just it's the same characters over and over again. So now with the Ultimates, these are supposed to be the be all end all versions of these characters, of these wrestlers. So I'll pick up I've been picking them up more because they're good. But I really like the Jazzwares figures for AEW. I just think the design, the engineering of those figures, it just seems a more real, you're holding a little human, the proportions and everything. But with the Mattel WWE guys, that silhouette, that they've updated the mold, but it dates back over 10 years from the beginning of Mattel having the license, and they've tweaked it, but they've never completely redone it. So they're sort of like pigeonholed a little bit in what they can do with this silhouette.
Yeah.
But Mattel, I mean, Jazzwares just started fresh. I feel like they have a leg up, even though they've had a lot of problems getting product into stores this last year. Only now are we starting to see new stuff show up, like on Ringside Collectibles, but I haven't seen anything in retail, at retail, Target, Walmart. So hopefully they get that all straightened out.
I started looking at like the wrestling figures because I remember you were talking about them, and I just kind of like started noticing these things.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how they come with like little belts on them and stuff.
The titles?
Yeah, the titles and stuff.
Yeah,
well, I tell you what,
yeah.
I'm walking to work with a couple of those on my shoulder. Little small ones.
So like if you're a wrestling fan, you probably love championship belts. And so like growing up, they didn't make replicas. Like if you went to the live events, they had these foam kid versions, but they didn't like when I was growing up, the versions they sold didn't look anything like the real things. Then when Jax came along, they would make kid-size versions, and they look just like the actual belts. So that was really cool. But now you can buy replicas for like $200, $250, and it looks like the belts. It's just not real leather. It's like it's fabric leather, and then faux leather, and then inside is cardboard. Which is like so it like bends weird. But then there are sites where you can make custom belts. Like my wife got me a custom belt for our anniversary.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
if you like wrestling, if you followed wrestling, you probably have an affinity for belts that no one outside of this fandom does.
Right. That's fun. That's fun.
All right.
And then like you're kind of getting into Super 7, and I noticed that you've what lines do you have of Super 7 at the moment?
So Super 7 is such an interesting story because they just started picking up every IP that exists. And they did their Turtles, and that really put them on the map with a lot of people, the Ninja Turtles line. But for me, it didn't make a lot of sense because they were larger, slightly more articulated versions of those original Playmates figures. And I was just like, why do I want to pay $50 for this? Like I already have that. I've had this for 30 years. Why do I want this? But then they got The Simpsons, and they got Power Rangers. So like I have a lot of Super 7 product all of a sudden. And I was holding off, but Entertainment Earth stocks it, and they were doing some clearance or like at least discounts on that's where I got the Turtles, because they like had them almost half off.
Oh man.
And I was like, well, I just got to get them now. So I got a bunch of Turtles, and then I got the Simpsons when they came in stock, so I could use my discount code. And now the Simpsons are on discount too. You could save some more money on those. Definitely pick up that first series of the Simpsons. Those figures, even if you're mad that they're not in scale with the world of Springfield, as soon as you have them, you'll understand why they made them as big as they are, because they're just like such fun toys. Like they're just like larger than life, like the characters are. They're great.
There's 3 on sale right now, and I'm going all 4. The first wave 1 and 2 are on sale. Like Homer, Mo, Itchy and Scratchy robots.
Yeah, everybody except Poochie. So I don't know if Poochie sold well or if he was like fewer per case. I'm not sure why Poochie isn't included in the sale.
And it's not like basic forms of the characters, right? It's always like some like different form of them, like except for Mo. Mo is going to be original.
Yeah. Well, this is a weird thing too, because so series 1 has Homer, but he's in his astronaut outfit from the episode where he goes to space. So that was like, okay, they're just trying to do something different. But then they've announced at least one more Homer, and he's in, what is he in? He's dressed as
in the Momo.
Yeah, in the Moo. So he's from that episode where he wants to go on disability and he gets really fat.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I guess that's like sort of an iconic look. And then Bart, the first Bart figure, is dressed as Bartman, and I don't know that he comes with an alternate head that has without the mask.
Bartman, yeah. Dude, I'm gonna spend a lot of money on like Simpsons Super 7, like plain and simple.
So here's the thing. Like, I really want this line to do well because I really like them. I want to see, and now they've announced they're doing Lisa and Marge as normal versions.
Oh.
Which is we were concerned that they were never going to do normal versions, and we don't know why. It was just like maybe a thing that Brian decided it would be more toyetic or whatever. But now they're doing normal versions. I really need this line to like keep going. Like the fact that they're already discounted is a little disconcerting to me. Like, please don't like cancel these figures because they're great, and I would need more people to buy them.
Exactly. Like I bought, like the first thing I bought was the Homer in space, and I love it.
It's
and
so
it comes
fun.
with potato chips in it. Like there's the chips in it.
That's the thing. That's what. So if you're not familiar with Playmates toys or not Playmates, with Palisades toys from back in the day, they did the Muppets, as I said. They would just pack in accessories. Like one of the like Scooter. Remember Scooter? He worked. His like dad owned the theater, and he came with like a ladder, like just like all of these like accessories that were not necessary at all, but they like populated the world that the figures lived in. So Super 7, I feel like, is doing that more than anyone else now, where they're just giving you all these accessories. Mo comes with a panda and the crate for the panda to be in. Like, that could be a figure on its own.
Yeah. What was from one episode, right? Like,
it was an episode
from one joke, from one sight gag. It's not referenced ever again.
Yeah, it was the episode when Homer sees the alien, who is Mr. Burns.
Oh,
and they're like, Agent Mulder, FBI, and Mo's like, oh god.
Yeah, and he just runs back and tells his like underlings,
breaks open the boxes for all the pandas. Get him out of here.
So,
but it's like, what? But it's a great pack-in. Like, it's a really fun, like the pandas articulated, the crate opens, the door opens. It's amazing.
Ridiculous.
Do you I noticed that they did that with like the Power Rangers line. Like they put in like little random tidbits into like one off episodes, I should say.
Yeah, let me pull out. So I have the tray here from the Green Ranger. So you tell me what this is from. This is obviously the Sword of Darkness that comes with a lot of Tommy figures. What is this sword from?
Ooh, what is that one? Is that the Sword of Power?
Yeah, I think so. But what is?
It's a transfer one. The one that they transfer powers with.
To Zeo or just
no? So when the original when Jason,
the original three left,
not Jason, Zach, and Trini left. They had to go with that sword.
That's the sword, I think.
Yeah, the sword that had to get in season 3. Why is it in that one? It shouldn't be in that one. It should be in the White Ranger one because it never had as a Green Ranger.
Well, that's weird. And then this blaster, I think is it from the episode where they're like stuck in that like frog?
I think so. Yeah.
Thing's belly, and he like blasts them to get out. Shit. I think this is from the Sentai. This I don't know that was ever in the Sentai. The sword.
Yeah. Most random thing. Yeah. Okay.
So random. Yeah. It's like they're just like what? And then even more random. I feel like that is it comes with a second pair of arms that don't have the gold cuffs on them. So you could do the powered down version because you can take off his arms, you can take off his helmet, you can take off the dragon shield. So you can just have him for that one moment after he transferred his power to Jason.
The little small cuts that they're using. That's crazy. Like how they would just, hey, let's just do this because it was in one episode.
And so this is the point we were making at one point where it's like, if you remove these like almost unnecessary accessories, could you bring the price down like $10? Yeah. Is that like a trade-off or not? Because then you have 4 figures. Well, you have 3 figures. You have the 2 Rangers and the Putty. And then you have Goldar, which is like a very large figure. But then you have this friggin' huge thing, the Tyrannosaurus Zord. And this is like, this should be a different price bracket. But I think it was the same price as the Rangers.
Is that?
In subsequent series, the Zords are like $10 more. But like you could get, this is a steal. Like go get this right now.
Is that still a 7-inch figure or is that taller?
It's bigger. Here, I'll put it next to the Green Ranger. You can see.
Oh yeah,
like, look how big it is.
Yeah, it's freaking 60.
It's huge.
$55 for it.
And the cool part is it even has like ball joints in the tail, so you can
yes,
look at that. You can
so
adjust
great,
it.
So great. So I'm really looking forward to the Zords. They're doing the Tiger Zord in battle mode, Dino Megazord, Dragon Zord, like right there. Give those to me in one set. I need those immediately.
Those look really cool for non-transformable too.
Yes, that's what I've always wanted Hasbro to do. is Zords in scale with the monsters that don't transform. Just make them as figures. But Super 7 is doing it, so it's going to take a while to get them, but at least they're happening.
Oh, wow.
Right. They're going to cost you $50 a piece.
Oh, my God.
It's worth it.
It's
100%. The Zords are 100% worth the price. Yeah.
And they come with the power coins, too.
They come with the coins. Look at this thing.
Oh, my God. Look at that.
It's so thick. This is the best version of a power coin. Better than any of the ones that have come with morphers. It's currency. That's what I was saying. It's currency. Listen,
Zoo Ranger logo on the back.
It does. It has the Z. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
So
it's a replica.
Paul, you're putting a sharpshooter on my bank account right now. With that,
that's what I do. Brian, listen to that. I'm a good salesman for your company.
Oh my God, I don't think it's gonna be like a car payment. Billy, don't do it.
No, it get repoed. I got another car. So
they're giving credit cards out now, left and right.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, they're giving me in the mail. I'm like,
yeah, like
18-month, no APR. Yeah. How can you not? Can you not take them up on that?
Yeah, that's so true. So, speaking of the Power Rangers, we haven't been able to discuss the Once and Always special.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. What did you think about that? Did it fulfill,
live up to the hype?
Yeah, the hype for the hype that you set it at.
So here's an analogy I've come up with to explain this. It's sort of like Christmas morning. So you get excited for Christmas several months out. And you're like, oh, you have the nice feels. You remember Christmas's past. You think about what you want. You buy things for other people. It's just like a happy time, especially when you're a kid. You just like, you make your list. But then when you get to Christmas morning, it's like over. And then it's like, oh, so the best part of Christmas is the anticipation.
Oh, that's
and
true.
I think that is the case with this, because we had several months, if not like a year, of like hearing about what was happening, learning about who was going to show up, seeing little snippets and being like, oh, I remember that from when I watched it originally, just getting excited for it. And then the final product, it is what it is. It probably is exactly what we should have expected.
Yes.
But, in our heads, we're creating this impossible to create production. So it was never going to live up to the hype that we created ourselves.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fine. I think it did a good job of getting lapsed fans interested people who don't like watch the current show or don't follow it. But like as a child watched it and they were like, "Oh, I remember Power Rangers."
Yeah.
So I think it did its job, and it did well on Netflix. People watched it.
Yeah, I think they said it was top 3 for the month.
Well, that's great. That's really good.
That means it's going to be candid to 3 extra movies.
No, don't say that.
Netflix is so weird on how they
cancel
evaluate their projects, because it's like you have to, if you don't watch it immediately, it's a failure.
Oh.
Like they need immediate results, and you have to like watch the whole thing. Like there are all these
metrics.
Thank you. There are all these metrics they use to evaluate what they consider a success or not. So I hope it did well. Do we need another one? Probably not. I mean, I would rather them. There have been all this talk about the next iteration, like what Hasbro is going to do moving forward, because it seems like they want to move away from using the Sentai. I think they've severed that relationship, or at least they're not fully bringing over the same series.
All they have left now is Zord footage. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's all they have left.
So that's something they probably should have borrowed for the special, because the Zord footage was very bad.
It was a little rough.
It was ill-advised. So that's something like, it didn't, like, if this was supposed to remind you of what it was like watching Power Rangers, it failed, because that's not what it looked like.
Well,
like, we wanted people in
movie,
suits.
the 97 movie.
Well, that's it was that bad.
It was already better than that CGI.
I wouldn't even say it was better than that CGI. Like, how many years have they had? And I think you got to rate that on a sliding scale. Like, it was pitiful. And money, time, whatever.
Yeah.
But you knew there was going to be a Zord battle. Why couldn't you prepare? Like, use the toys. I don't know.
The one thing I'm really mad about is the cockpit. like it's just a desk in a big room.
Yeah.
That
It was very
it.
spacious.
I was like, okay, and that's fine, but like I was like,
I
it
thought
shouldn't look like this.
I thought the cockpit was the least atrocious part of the
Right.
Zord battle. Just the Megazord, it just looked wrong. Like the shape, the silhouette of it was bad.
The attention to detail too, because like in the show they had the power crystals that they used to control the Zord, and they actually had them in there.
Yeah,
I mean that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't think anybody is saying they didn't do their homework. They had somebody on there for continuity and like almost like to a fault. Like they're like throwing in little lines. Like they probably were lines that contradicted other lines because that's just how Power Rangers worked. Like you've had how many different people writing these stories, and the people don't always look back and like see what other people did. They're gonna do what they think they want to do.
It's not
It's
Marvel
like in the
yet.
Well, here's the thing. It's like the Marvel universe. How Thor got entangled with the Guardians.
Yeah.
Well, the director of Thor: Love and Thunder didn't want that, so it was very minimal. And then Thor was not in the latest Guardians of the Galaxy, so James Gunn was like, So sometimes the big boss wants something, but then the people actually making the content are like, no, I don't think that makes any sense.
So we went to a con and we met I cannot remember his name now. Steve Cardenas.
Oh, okay.
And,
Rocky.
With Rocky, we told him, we were like, hey, we defended you. We think you should have got, you're underrated, and we love that. And, you didn't get your due credit. And he was like, come here. You got to get a picture with me now.
Yeah, we got free photos with him, which was great. Pictures,
and Jim tried to pay, and I was like, Jim, don't do it. He's going to roundhouse you.
What do you think when you were watching the show as a kid? What did you think when they changed actors?
I didn't really think much of it. I was just, I was too young.
So you agree that they were just helmet heads, right? As Saban would say, like it didn't matter who was in there. You just cared about the character.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
With the suit.
Right. I am the other way. Yeah. I'm the other way. I thought that if they were going to change actors, they should have changed more than the actors. They should have changed. It shouldn't have been Mighty Morphin anymore. Yeah. It should have been something different.
Okay, I see where you're going. That's a good
point. I can get behind that, but I can get behind that. Like, I understand where you're coming from with that, but like they were running the suits hard.
Well, they had a lot of footage to work with too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and they don't want to spend a lot of money. Like Saban was a tourist with spending as little money as possible.
I mean, I guess you have to say that Saban was proven right because it continues to this day. It's not like it failed. But like think he could have just spent a little more money and kept that group together. It could have been a bigger deal. I don't know if that's even possible.
Yeah.
But if you kept that group together for another year or more, I think I don't know what it would look like, but I would have been happier.
Did you see the post that they did where the Yellow Ranger dressed up as Trini Min? Like she did like a whole like fight routine as a shadow, but she was dressed as Trini. Like identical, looked just like her.
Oh, like her civilian clothes?
Yeah, civilian clothes. She put on a wig and everything, and she was supposed and they cut it. They cut it off the final edit. But,
it's funny. I did see that post, but I misread it, and for whatever reason, I thought they were saying that the actress who played Trini in the pilot was doing it.
Oh.
And I was like, what? Uh-oh. That's weird.
That's weird.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, to pull her back. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, I think it's probably good they cut that. But it's probably a good thing they cut this too, because that does seem a little bit like I need to know. I would need to see the context. And I think that probably would have taken a lot of setting up to make it
I think
make sense.
Taken outside the 12 days they were there.
That's crazy too. They shot this in 12 days. Like that's not enough time.
No, not at all. And then we talked to Paul Schreier and Jason Narvi, and
they did.
They said they actually got paid pretty hefty for just their pictures on that board.
Get out of here!
Yeah,
get out of here!
Yeah.
Did they do new photography, or they just like pulled those photos from something?
I'm not too sure. He didn't say where they got the pictures, but they said that they got paid pretty hefty from Hasbro to use. That's
crazy. Yeah, good for them.
All right. Yeah. It was pretty fun. Also, there's a rumor that I got confirmed that Jason Narvi gets mad whenever they play the Power theme song when he's teaching.
Oh yeah.
He's a theater teacher.
Oh, he's a teacher?
Yeah, he's a theater teacher. And so every time they play, he gets all mad about it. And the reason why he gets mad is because there's so many other better songs out there. I'm like, to be fair, you're not wrong, but like, And she's like, it used to be fun. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine after 30 years that might get a little on your nerves.
But they were super nice to talk to and chit chat with.
That's great. Yeah, it's nice when people like. I mean, I think now because there's so much money to be made with these conventions and like just remaining part of the fandom, I think you see that a lot more. But I just remember like, I mean, I wasn't aware of it when it was happening, but you hear stories about Alec Guinness not liking Star Wars. You know, he played Obi-Wan and like he thought it was so silly and he hated it. But you know, if that movie was made 30 years later, he'd probably be at conventions right now making a bank load or boatload, I should say.
Yeah.
But he was an English theater actor, so
my god, okay,
he was below him. He just needed the paycheck.
We went to
Fort Worth Collecticon, yeah,
and we were in line to meet Abe and Joe Johnson. And
did they close it down?
Too, yeah.
Yeah, and the line was so long, it was to the back wall of this massive building, and like everybody was getting a picture and a signature combo, which was $80. And I was sitting there, thinking, how much money she walked away from this? Like 20.
Because she left.
Yeah,
right?
She left second day
because of security concerns.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, man, just Saturday, she must have walked away with like at least 15,000, 20,000.
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. I was like, my
you
God.
could hire your own security at that point.
Right.
It was ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, good for them.
Same with like Johnny and Bosch and David Yost. Their lines were pretty long.
They
They
were
weren't that
both
long. Well, Johnny and
Yeah.
Bosch's was. His was almost as long because he's done so many voice acting gigs.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So yeah, like the amount of money they walked away with that day. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, good for them because there were a lot of years where this wasn't a thing.
Exactly.
Like, for 20 years, they weren't able to make this kind of money. I don't know what they were doing.
Saban didn't pay him Jack Daily Squad either.
I know, it's so crazy.
You
Non-union stuff.
When the Power Rangers became kids?
Yeah.
So the kids are actually now starting to go to cons too.
I follow the Red Ranger on TikTok. He was in
Lasky.
Three Ninjas Kickback.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. Does he do the cons too?
I think he does because the way he promotes himself, he's like, "I'm the last original Red Ranger."
Come on, man! You never wore the suit, man.
They never. That's right. They never had the kids in the suits like Justin and Turbo.
No.
Let's see. The guy who does the White Ranger, Justin. Something I don't remember his name, but he only ever has the Falcon coin. He never does the Tiger's Sword coin.
He's actually canonically correct with his coin.
Yeah. He also has a great time with it. So, like every picture I see of him, he has the biggest, stupidest smile on his face, and I'm 100% on board with it.
It's Michael Gatto. That's his name.
Michael Gatto, yeah.
Do people? So this is interesting because I'm not into autographs. I'm not into waiting in line to meet people. But there are a lot of people are. But like these actors who played versions of the real character. Do people want to meet them? Do people want their autographs?
Yeah. From what I heard from them, they were like they came out and was like apparently people want to meet us, and then they started going to cons.
Yeah, one of them showed up to a con. I think it was the guy who does the White Ranger. He showed up to a con at one point. Mike Ortiz went to a con and had a great time. And he was like, "Oh yeah, people want to meet us and stuff. This is great." And like the other one's like, let's see, and then it's kind of just snowballed from there. Like the Pink Ranger's doing it, the Yellow Ranger's doing it, and the Blue Ranger's doing it. All of them are starting to do it now, and they're in the show for different cons, having a good time. And like honestly, like dude, if you're having a great time, just go have fun with it.
Yeah, make some money. Why not?
The money doesn't hurt either.
Have you ever?
Yeah, I wonder what that would be like to like. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously, if you have people in your line, that's great. But I do wonder if there's a fear they show up and like nobody wants to meet them.
Or you can ask Chuck Norris that his line was really short.
Oh yeah,
Chuck Norris had a short line.
He had a really short line. Yeah, it was a super short line.
Super short line. Yeah,
just the wrong audience. Like that's
I don't.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It was weird because he was in the middle of all these anime voice actors and stuff. I was like,
and then Chuck Norris.
I was like, why need security? We got Chuck Norris. Just
yeah.
Well, I don't think he showed up day 2. I think that was the problem. But yeah, no. Yeah, we were just like looking around. Yeah, he was at the shortest line of everyone. I was like, all right, Chuck.
Have you ever met anybody from a show that you watched?
So I've met a couple of wrestlers. I met Chris Jericho at a book signing because he's done a few books. And I went to a local show before NXT was called NXT. It was FCW, so Florida Championship Wrestling, but it was still like a feeder system for WWE. So they had some of their guys come down. So like Zack Ryder was there one day. Cody Rhodes was there one week. I don't know that I've met anyone from TV though.
Now, do the wrestlers, do they kayfabe or like are they like genuine there?
I think it depends. It definitely depends on the person and the venue, probably. So like there's the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, which is hosted by Matt Cardona, formerly Zack Ryder, and Brian Myers, formerly someone else from Kurt Hawkins. There they go, Kurt Hawkins. So they have a podcast and they do live shows, and one was in Orlando, so I went to that one. And they are who they are. They're like their podcast personality. But then Matt will go wrestle, and he is this other personality. So when you meet him at a wrestling show, he's probably a different person than when you meet him at the podcast show.
Oh,
so it depends.
I listened to a little bit of that, the Major Wrestling.
Yeah,
I'll listen to it a couple times. They have some really funny stories that they talk about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that reminds me. If you want a fun like sports podcast, check out this one called Crime in Sports.
Crime in Sports.
Crime in Sports. It's two comedians that talk about sports stars who do crimes.
Oh, there you go.
And sure wrestling has a lot, by the way. There's
no lack of content.
There's never content. But Billy, didn't we get to meet Undertaker once at a recital?
Oh, so the Undertaker's daughter was she was in a dance program that our friends' sisters were in, and we went to go see their dance recital, and we were sitting next to Undertaker, and like we talked to him and everything. Yeah, tall dude, like
he was really nice, really nice guy, just tall and terrifying looking. The first time you see him, like Jesus,
yeah. Oh my god,
I was super sweet though.
I was like, "Where's Paul Bear?"
I know. Well, he's dead, so hope you didn't actually say that.
No, this was when we were kids. So
Oh, you were kids?
Yeah, we were kids. Yeah.
Oh, so before he because now he goes out and does like stand up and shit. Like
really? That's amazing.
He's totally let go of the kayfabe Undertaker character. But you saw him when he had like the long hair still. Yep. Oh my god, that's funny.
This was like way back, like early 2000s.
Damn.
Yeah. Like,
nice.
Really early 2000s. Yeah. Like, dude was super nice though. Like super sweet dude. Nice.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Our friend Zach was like, I've talked to him a dozen times. He's super nice. And I'm like, and we're like, do you know who that is? He's like, no. And like, that's Undertaker. He's like, the what?
He'll put you in a coffin real quick.
Rest in peace.
We'll put you down.
So let's dive into some newer shows that are coming out that we're kind of anticipating, like from Disney Plus, Ahsoka.
Oh, so let's hype up some new shows so we might have another Power Rangers thing.
Yeah,
again.
Let's have another Power Rangers thing.
Roll disappointment.
So I don't know nothing about Ahsoka, so because I have never watched Rebels
or
Clone Wars,
or anything Star Wars related besides the movies I made you watch at one point in your life.
Yeah,
and Mandalorian.
Yeah, so Ahsoka's such an interesting character because she didn't exist until the movies were done.
Yeah,
like the original 6 at least.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
And then
she was created to be hated.
Was that the point of she was like the annoying?
Yeah, so Dave Filoni created Ahsoka so he could prove a point that he can make any character likable.
Oh wow!
And so the first time you meet her, she starts calling all these established characters with these nicknames. And designed to just piss you off about her. You ever go back and rewatch like the Clone Wars like animated movie with her in it? And you just don't like her because she's such an unlikable person. Because she's just annoying.
I remember they hyped up that movie and it was in theaters.
Maybe I don't remember. Like,
this is the one with like the baby Jabba the Hutt.
Yes.
So it was in theaters. I don't know if it like played on TV at the same time and they just released like 3 episodes in the theaters.
Something like that, yeah.
But like you could go see it in theaters. So, but I remember seeing footage of it and I just hated the way the characters move. They look like marionettes.
It took me a while to get used to it, and then they really fixed it. Like in season 3, it really got fixed. And from now we had the Bad Batch and like how amazing that looks.
But then Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Yeah.
And they cut the budget for these animated shows.
Yeah. Well,
so you compare, what was the first one? Clone Wars?
Yeah, the Clone Wars was
compare
the first
that to
one.
Rebels and how like the animation
looks way different. Yeah.
Right. They made it cheaper.
Yeah. So you can see it, but then they put a lot more money back into Clone Wars to finish off the series. Which looked pretty good, but then you got Bad Batch, which they realized if you keep putting money into Star Wars, it keeps making money. And so if you look at Bad Batch looks great. To be fair with you, it's fantastic. But Rebels is rough. Rebels is rough. The first 2 seasons are really rough. The 3rd season, 4th season, fantastic.
I just couldn't get into the animated Star Wars because it started during that prequel era.
Yeah,
I just didn't care about any of that stuff.
I do
like I didn't want to hear about space politics. I like Bill loves space politics, but I just don't care about it.
I highly recommend. There's about 40 episodes of Clone Wars. You should not 40, 35. You should
That's
watch
too many
that are really good. They're really fast paced. It's really well done.
20 hours to kill.
Oh God,
you need to watch this series.
So you can cut out all the filler stuff, and when you cut out the filler stuff, it really speeds up the whole thing. But like I watched it all like during COVID, and like I had a whole year to kill. It's fun, and it was really good. Like it was really really well done, and I liked it a lot. And
speaking of Star Wars, do you all like follow the Black Series?
Get out here! Like we were just talking about the damn Clone Wars. You bring up Black
I'm
Series.
just saying.
There's a Darksaber on sale at Walmart. You go pick up for $20. Go do it.
The FX one?
No, it's like a kid's toy.
Oh, okay, I was like, that's crazy cheap.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
But
I don't know about the Black Series. You think it's like a deadline or?
Well, Entertainment Earth is
no.
giving out codes for it now. Like on their magazines, you just enter the code, they send you a free one.
I mean, yeah, like the older figure, like you'll get a rose from Rise of Skywalker or whatever.
I'll take whatever. I'll take a free figure, man. I'm not mad.
Every time I go to the store, I always see like the Inquisitors, and I'm always tempted to buy them. I'm like,
I really, really want a Paz Vizsla right now. I really want one.
Well, you should have got it.
I know. I should have.
They made like 3 different flavors of him.
Yeah, like I should have picked him up earlier. I should have done it because
he was
honestly,
hateable character. But at the very end, you're like, you're rooting for him, and then
you're mad. You're mad. You hated him. You're like, damn it, I love you.
Why did you hate him? I don't think anybody hated him.
He was just kind of a pain. I really like Mando. He's kind of a pain in the ass of Mando.
Yeah.
See, I mean, like the characterization of everybody this season. It was like, isn't the cult good? We're in a cult. Why do you not like our cult? So it was just weird.
Yeah, but no, I did like the armor just going through and smacking people in the face with their tools. Like,
did you think she was gonna end up being bad?
Like I was thinking, like she could be the bad guy, but it wasn't. She wasn't the bad guy, and I'm like, nobody was. Like,
yeah,
I know.
Like who was the bad guy? Was the bad guy? Yeah. There was no twist. Yeah,
like what was going on? Yeah, I was kind of mad about that. I'm like, where's the twist at? Come on, guys.
Oh,
but the armor just being a total badass, I loved.
when I did see Moff Gideon, like in the back of my head, like, oh, not this guy again.
Not you again, John Esposito. Don't murder me. I love you.
I don't think he's done yet. We didn't see him die.
Yeah, we didn't officially see him die yet.
No. Also, plus there's clones of him.
Though I am really happy they broke the Darksaber finally. Don't get me wrong, the Darksaber looked bitchin', but like it was a symbol that was destroying the Mandalorians. Like just destroying the Mandalorians. Oh. Yeah. And now it's gone, and now the Mandalorians can actually finally heal and do something productive finally. But it's nothing but strife with that damn saber. Every time that saber shows up, nothing good happens.
I don't care about the Mandalorians at all. Like, I want to be done with them. Like, I just want Din Djarin and Baby Yoda to go around the galaxy and have some adventures. I don't care about this religion or whatever it is, creed. Like, y'all stupid. This is making you stupid. You're making stupid decisions.
They're like the Gurkhas. Like they're exceptionally amazing fighters, but they are constantly infighting all the time.
What is this?
The Gurkhas?
Gurkha? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, the Gurkhas are real. They're a Indian fighting force of amazing warriors, and like
if one dies,
there's so many stories about the Gurkhas.
Yeah,
that there was one Gurkha who killed what was it, 35 insurgents in one night. He started with a gun and ended with a tripod from a camera, and was just killing people.
Wait, what? This is like a thing that happened in history?
No,
or
real thing happened. Yeah, real thing.
Because I'm Googling it, and you just said a tripod. So like they're still fighting?
Yes.
Where is this based out of?
This one was in Iraq, I believe. Iraq or Iran. And it was insane. And there's an actual like audio transcript of his radio calls. It's amazing. There's a saying. So they're most of them are now bodyguards. And so there's a saying that they send one Gurkha, and that one Gurkha dies. They send two Gurkhas to protect you. If those two Gurkhas die, they send an entire fleet. Like they'll send an entire squadron. Wow. If they get past that, they have failed their whole history. They're the ones with the kukuru sword.
Yeah, I don't. It's just weird to me. Like that is the thing that exists, but like having your whole identity based around
it's insane.
War and like weaponry. Like I'm not on board with that. Like I understand that's what
their history is amazing. Don't get me wrong, their history is amazing. I don't want to be part of that myself, but it's amazing their history.
It did get kind of boring that they kept referring like the Kree and like the weapons for Mandalorians. So I'm like, well, okay, that's cool. Like, can we forget about the planet?
I feel like that's gonna bounce off now. Like they got that set up, and it's gonna be its own thing now.
So we're not looking at a Mandalorian season 4. It's gonna be a movie, right?
No, there's like 3 more seasons before they get to the movie.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Yeah, there's gonna be Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and then a couple other things. So. We'll see what happens. Oh my god! Did you see? Okay, you saw the Ahsoka trailer, right?
Somewhat of it.
I want to know who those like dark Jedis are going to be. Like, are they dark Jedis? I don't think they're Sith because those blades aren't red. Are they like dark Jedi?
Oh, it's like maroon.
Yeah, like they're like orange and stuff. I'm like, okay, what are we doing with this?
I don't, because like everything's, they're just making stuff up at this point. Like it's all made up, but it's like it's not based on anything.
Well,
unless it's from
they have legends of
expanded universe.
Yeah, they have legends they can build off of, and that's really about it at the moment. Or they can make up whatever they want. And I think they're basing it off legends a little bit here and there. Like they're taking bits and pieces of legends they really like and just adapting that to this current setup.
I hope it's good. I mean, they're putting a lot of stuff into it. You have like all the rebels, in live action for the first time. So,
so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
See in a few months.
I really want to. Hopefully they don't screw up Ezra. I really hope they don't screw up Ezra.
Who's the guy that's the X-wing pilot in Mandalorian?
Oh, from
the big
Canadian show. But,
the big guy.
Yeah, no, the Asian dude.
He's not
Asian. Oh, I don't remember his name.
So apparently, that guy. I listened to him on another podcast. He's a huge toy collector.
I believe it.
Yeah, and he does a lot of like hot toys. That's his thing is.
Are they?
Those aren't even toys.
Yeah, I think
like that. If you collect hot toys, you might as well be like collecting stocks and bonds.
Yeah,
like it's such a weird thing.
Those are a
what
weird
are
line.
hot toys?
Hot toys, yeah.
It's like the company. They make real high end 1/6 collectibles.
Yeah. They're like little mannequins. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
400 is the low end on those now.
Oh my god.
I was collecting. So like this, we were talking about this a little bit on the show. Sideshow collectibles existed, and then they got the Star Wars license. And for a while there, they were doing like a new figure every month or like a pre-order. And they like ran through. This was back in 2006, 7. They were doing Jedis, like easy characters to do. Like they never did Chewbacca. Like nobody like like that went outside like the normal body mold they would use. But then they stopped making their own stuff and then just were importing the Hot Toys. So now it's like this weird relationship, but there's no like actual just sideshow as far as I know.
Oh.
Star Wars figures. So it's weird. But I also remember those like figures were like $50 when we were buying them, and then now they're like $400 or whatever.
Jeez, no thanks.
Sounds like the McFarlane toys. Damn, they would have been good too.
Oh.
Well, McFarlane is actually like one of the cheaper toys on the market right now. Like I think they just announced they're jumping their price, but for a while they've stayed steady at $20.
Yeah, I see their toys all the time, like the McFarlane. I'm like so tempted to buy one, but I'm like, I can't dive into this rabbit hole. I'm already sunk in on Power Rangers.
I almost feel like if you want to buy something from McFarlane, the urge to like be a completist is not there, because there's not a lot of continuity between the figures. Like they almost exist independently of or from one another. Okay. So it's like if you like this character, just buy it because it's probably a pretty good figure, but then you won't like feel like you need to buy like 6 more figures to complete the set.
Like when you buy a Funko, you're like, I must complete the Funko set.
Exactly.
That's a good point. Yeah. I did see the Batman from the Flash movie they just in Target over the weekend. I was like so tempted by that thing.
The one with the Bruce Wayne head or just the mask?
Just the mask one.
Oh, so you should have got that one, because that one's actually going to be hard to find.
There was 3.
That's like the one everybody wants.
Oh, there's 3 of them.
Go back and get it. Come on.
Yeah, go back. Come on. Give me one.
Okay,
we'll be here. Let's go. Come on.
See you later, guys.
They're still open, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm like, oh yeah, you got an hour and a half.
Cool.
Remember when Walmart was open 24 hours a day?
We took
then
that
COVID happened.
Yeah, COVID happened, but then they never went back to it.
Well, they go back to it and they cut the amount of checkout lines again. So now it's all like self checkout. You're like, I don't want to do self checkout. I want to talk to someone and make it awkward.
What time do they close over there? They close at 11
self-checkout.
for us.
I don't know, probably 11. Maybe even earlier than that.
I remember Target closed at 10, but then they opened to midnight, and then they closed. They went back to 10 o'clock. But
yeah,
I don't know. I'd rather do Target over than Walmart.
Oh, sure. But Walmart was nice because it was, they had like the one at least I would go to growing up. They had the one side was grocery.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So you could get like some snacks and stuff. Like, I don't know. It was just nice.
Now, I don't know if you do this, but I know I do this. And I don't know if anybody like collectors do this too. But I will specifically not go to a store because their toy selection is like really bad.
Like you won't go to a certain
Walmart
location. You'll like go out of your way to go to a different one.
Yeah, I will drive an extra like 5-6 miles to go something else.
Well, if it's only 5 or 6 miles, I'll go to both of them. I don't think there's like a location I won't go to because it's bad. Like some definitely are more out of the, like some seem like, I guess, more off the beaten path, like are picked over, or like fewer collectors maybe go because you're more likely to find something you want.
Yes.
There's one location that I go to less often, but you're more likely to find fig swaps. Like, like the clientele is a little less
honest
on the up and up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I bought the Batman figure from the Dark Knight Rises collection, or the Dark Knight collection from McFarlane. The only time I've ever seen that figure, any of those figures in store, I buy them, I bring them home, I open them up. I notice right away that the tabs holding the figure in the plastic are broken. So I'm like, I knew right away it was a swap. And like the arm had been completely broken off and out of the socket. So I think someone returned this and then they just put it back on the shelf, which is just, ignorance on the part of the employee.
Yeah, that's right.
Just send that back to the factory or throw in the trash or whatever you do.
We see that all the time with the Lightning collection figures when there's the older ones in the plastic windows all the time.
Yeah.
It was Zeo yellow in like, yeah. I was like, this is legitness. I'm buying it.
I mean, that's the worst. Like, if you can't afford to buy this new figure, then you can't have it.
Right.
Like, it's just, you can't be doing that. Or like, I don't know why people swap them and then return them like they're new. say it's broken so they don't put it back on the shelf or something. Like if you say it's broken, they're not going to question you. They would just be like, okay, I don't care.
Yep. Yeah. You remember when Target was doing where you would order something online and then you would say, hey, it's broken or something. And they were like, oh, just keep it. We'll send you another one.
Yes. Did they stop?
Yeah, they stopped doing that. But I remember that happening.
That was the best.
Yeah.
Because my things were showing up, like the boxes were all messed up. So I wanted to return them and get new ones. And they were just like, keep it. I was like, oh, don't mind if I do.
Yeah. I got so many Ninja Rangers from that.
Yes, me as well, because they would just shove them in boxes without any packaging material.
It was just a box and a box with
not my fault. Yeah. I would send it back if you wanted it, but they were like, nah, we don't want it.
I did it so much that they said, you need to bring that in store. I was like, oh, great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was always afraid because I saw a story of someone getting banned from shopping on Walmart.com because he would order like 10 G.I. Joes, like 10 of the same figure because he wanted good packaging. And then they finally were like, no, we can't keep doing this. So I was like getting really afraid that Target was going to ban me because I don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would live if I'm banned from Target.
My life can't go on.
For real. If I get banned from Disney or Target.
Oh, no.
It's like,
that's it for me.
Getting banned from Applebee's is completely acceptable. Being banned from Target is not.
No, yeah.
No. How do I do my groceries?
Right, exactly.
Do you have Publix out there?
Yeah, but they're very expensive.
Fair. They're like just go to Wawa. You're fine.
Yeah, just get the. We do so. When we first moved down here, we would do Walmart for groceries.
Yeah,
but then one day I found like an Eden apple core.
Oh god!
In the toy aisle, and I was like, we got to make some changes in our lives. So we started doing groceries at Target. But now we're back to doing Walmart because you can do the pickup without even going in the store.
Yeah.
They started that before COVID, and that was a life change. That was a lifesaver. So now it's just like whatever. And then like sometimes they'll screw stuff up, so we ended up having to go to like either Target or Publix to like fill in the holes. Yeah. But it's just more convenient, especially with like 2 kids. You don't want to drag them around a store
Actually,
for like an hour.
Yeah.
Just because we do a lot of Sam's Club stuff, so whenever we go there, because they have it, they're offering it now, and I'm thinking about it. I'm really tempted. I'm like, I could do it. Might as well.
Yeah.
I love Costco too. Costco. That's like one of those rites of passage for becoming an old person where you start to love Costco.
Like you start to love Costco. Get a Costco card.
I just got
a Costco.
So
I love you.
So worth it.
By the way, Costco. So if you ever buy furniture from Costco, you don't do if it ever breaks, you don't need a receipt to get it replaced.
Yeah, I've heard they're very lenient.
Yeah, they're super cool about it. It's super weird, and like we have I live in the city, so we have a Costco and Sam's Club like almost right next to each other.
There,
it's so we have both cards.
You remember that movie Step Brothers?
Oh yeah.
And remember when he walks out the store with the toilet paper and he's like, "Yeah." So that was me when I went and got a Sam's card over the weekend. I walked out the door. I was like, "Adulting."
Yeah.
It's super weird. Like my boss came up to me the other day. It was like, "Hey, I need you to do me a favor," and I was like, "What's that?" He was like, "Take care of it." I'm like,
"So you're
what?
Fat Tony?"
Maybe they need to make a Fat Tony Super 7.
Oh
yeah, I think that's.
They also. Oh God, I swear they gotta make it. Hank Scorpio.
They are. He's coming up. He's already. He's like in series 2, I think.
I'm 100% on board with this. Hank Scorpio is my favorite.
Can we
suggest
a rat Homer with the little hat and everything?
Rat Homer
when he was a snitch in the jail.
Oh yeah. Little
with the camera in it or the recorder.
He was walking around with the little itty bitty hat on. He was
a snitch for the mob for Fat Tony.
No, he was a snitch for the prison.
Oh,
he was a snitch for the prison.
Yeah, but he had
the gold chains like Snitch Life.
Oh, I'm seeing it now. That's funny. I don't remember. It's like his hair is shaved because he just has like stubble on the sides where he'd have the M.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
I don't remember this version. He must have been an informant multiple times.
Yeah. There's multiple times as an informant we're talking about.
I'll take an alternate head. If you just give me normal Homer, you can give him like this alternate head with the shaved hair.
Yeah.
And then one with like full flowing hair before he found out that Bart was coming.
Or the one where he finds out his true name and he like the imagination version of him as a hippie with long, beautiful hair.
Homer J. Simpson.
I wonder what my middle name is. It's always just been J, and it looks like Homer J. I'm Homer J.
It's a pretty good episode.
So dumb. I love Simpsons. Like I don't care. It's. I know the new episodes aren't as good as old episodes are, but they're still fun. I enjoy them. I watch them.
I was working my way through the whole series, and I sort of fell off the same place I fell off in real time, where I stopped watching on Sundays. Like I haven't had the motivation to watch it recently.
I honestly, so I host. I host a server that has some stuff on there. I could shuffle it through, and so I just go through shuffle, and it works. I've gotten through. I've watched every episode at this point now, and so
there you go.
Yeah,
someday I'll get there.
Eventually, one day.
Yeah, I watched the episode on TV, and I was like, I turned it off. I was like, I can't watch it. It feels weird to me.
Like
to watch
those commercials? Nope, can't do it.
I like the old school, like when, like the old school Simpsons.
I mean, Marge's voice wasn't changed yet.
Yeah, when it was.
I mean, that poor actress. She's
I
just
know,
getting
man.
up there.
Like,
Your voice just gives out.
Yeah.
She's done that voice for how many? Almost 30 years now? Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it's going to go out.
Over 30 years now, yeah. Same thing. Okay, so you know why Maude died in the show?
Yeah, because the actress wanted more.
Yeah,
money.
she only wanted slightly more money.
She was like driving like really far to get to work. She's like, I'm losing money.
Yeah, so Maude is, and they're like, yeah, no, we're gonna kill you.
Flanders' wife, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Flanders' first wife, and then Krabappel died naturally. Which sucks. And they just had her. Had her marry Ned. It was a great relationship too. It was fantastic. It really opened Ned up, opened the boys up, and the actress died, or the voice actor died. And it sucks, but it happens.
Speaking of the boys, when are we gonna get another season?
End of the year.
Okay.
Oh, the boy, like the superhero show?
Yeah. Principal photography is finished.
They finished that,
yeah. They're just doing editing at this point. Also,
who did they add to the cast? It was like a big name.
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen the last season.
Well, last season they had Eccleston on there, which he as a Soldier Boy.
Oh, that's
which
right.
Was really good. Like that story arc was really good, though I kind of feel like they kind of cheesed the ending on it. But
yeah, they just
the story arc itself was really fun. Like, just, oh my god, it was so crazy.
I thought the season was great.
Oh yeah.
Is this the third season?
Yeah, the third season that just
so
wrapped.
The second season was disappointing to me then because I love the first and I love this most recent one.
Yeah.
But if there's only been 3, then that second season I didn't.
The second season is a little rough. I feel like they were finding the legs on it, and the storm front was really annoying.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was weird.
Did you see they actually made toys of these?
Oh yeah, the big toys, everything.
Yeah, so
few companies made them.
Yeah,
NECA did a couple.
Yeah, I don't know.
3, I guess, because they did the like the Snake Eyes looking guy. I forget his name.
Black Noir.
Yeah,
Black Noir,
I saw him and Starlight but I saw him in FYE. I was like, this place is still around
for like $70 probably.
Yeah, probably
did you guys see did you watch the Deplorables yet?
No.
It's like the
cartoon.
The cartoon like shorts and stuff. It's like the what ifs of of the boys. It was really fun. Like there's one episode with Aquafina, and she gets superpowered poop.
Oh,
okay, there we go.
Just go with it. It's really stupid and fun.
Yeah,
just have a great time.
Speaking of,
I feel like there's so much new TV.
Oh, there is.
And like I hate that I'm going to say this, but I definitely prioritize live action over animation. Because like growing up, obviously it was all about like, animated stuff's real TV, like these are real shows. But there's just like something about it where it's like I would rather watch real people than animated people.
Fair. We have a little bit of other version of it here. We watch a lot more animated stuff than we watch live action things.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, my partner's an artist, and they really do like the animated stuff, so we end up watching that because they control the TV. So I'm not gonna say no. Like, oh, cool. But she got me really interested in Owl House, and that was great. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet,
what is it?
Owl
House?
Owl House.
A-L?
A-W-L. O-W-L. Owl House.
Oh, Owl.
Yeah.
Owl House.
It's a pretty good show. I've seen a couple episodes.
And the other one that came on the same exact time was Amphibia. I recommend that one too. They're both really good. Amphibia actually has a true ending. Well, Owl House had to kind of rush it this last season. But in both cases, I enjoyed the ride, and the animation looks amazing when they spend the money on it.
Mm-hmm.
So when Disney actually put money into animation, it looks fantastic.
Ah.
I think my son has like scrolled through this.
Huh.
Like I've seen this. I'm looking at the Amphibia. I feel like I've seen this on my TV.
Maybe. It was really good. The last season for it was fantastic. And they get into a lot of Korean, because the main character is Korean. And so they get into a lot of like the not stereotyping, but like the lifestyle of Koreans in California and like how it's different than what you think it would be. And I thought it was really good. And like the dad has a good moment with the grandpa, and it was eye opening because I wasn't expecting it. About a show about frogs who could talk. I was not expecting it at all. It was great.
I mean, that's the great thing about animation is you can do these things that you can't do in live action. Because like maybe you could do with CGI, but it would be so apparent that CGI would be distracting.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it was fun. I liked them, both of them. Yeah, so I recommend it. Just don't show it at schools in Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's at least one character, like both of them, at least one character that's gay.
Man, I was a teacher in Florida for 1 year. If I was a teacher right now, I would be showing the gayest shit. Like it would be LGBTQ everywhere. Like, come at me, bro. Like I'm gonna get a kick, like a GoFundMe so hard to fight you in the courts. Someone just showed Strange World.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, and they're under investigation now.
Right. So I was watching some videos for her, and like she knew what she was doing. Like she picked this fight. Yeah. She wants to be the face of this fight because it's so goddamn ridiculous that like one parent can complain, and like all of the students had permission slips to say they could watch any PG movies, and they didn't have a caveat.
Okay,
you could have put any caveat to say I don't want movies with these characters, and they didn't do it.
My father-in-law, right? So he's pretty on board with all that stuff, right? What's going on in Florida right now? He's pretty on board with it, and it's kind of annoying, but whatever. And so he ended up watching Strange World, all right. And like he brought up in conversation, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a conversation." And he's like, "You know what made me mad?" I'm like, "Oh, what was it?" He's like, "If they're living on this one big rock thing, why aren't all they the same color?" And I'm like,
"What?
Fair enough." Yeah, like right. At that point, you have enough genetic inbreeding that you're gonna pretty much all be the same color. I think that's the one thing you had a problem with. Like, one person you had a problem with. I'm like, okay. Like, I'll take it, sure. It's better than I expected. All right, cool.
When people argue science about these fantasy shows, like how, and then so like in the new Little Mermaid, they changed up the species of Scuttle. He was a seagull in the original one, and now they made him a different kind of bird so that he can dive in the water. As if people were going to see this and be like, "No, seagulls don't dive in the water." I don't agree with the science in this movie about mermaids.
When is the new Mermaid movie supposed to come out?
Soon this summer.
Oh man, yeah. She wants to go. Liz wants to go watch it. It's on our list to go watch.
a lot of good movies this year.
Yeah, we
Transformers.
We just watched Super Mario Bros.
That was pretty good.
I loved it. Okay, so I finally figured out what irked me the most about that movie. Chris Pratt could not keep his accent going at all.
It was just a weird choice from the start. It was so unnecessary because it didn't need the star power.
Yeah, no, it didn't really need it.
He's even star power, but like it was just weird.
It didn't really need it.
I didn't like the voices, but I was able to overlook it and just fixate on the visual because it looked beautiful.
Great. I did love. I did really, really enjoy Charlie Day as Luigi.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh, okay. Because I love Charlie Day. I like him in whatever he's in. I don't care. He's fun.
Yeah.
And Jack Black as Bowser. Oh, and
that was good.
That was fun. And freaking I was not expecting it because I didn't know it was going to be the thing. And it was what's his name? Who played Donkey Kong?
Seth Rogen.
Yeah. Is Seth Rogen? Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen. Yeah. Okay. I was sitting there. I'm like, is that freaking Seth Rogen? And like, end of the movie, I'm like, all right, I'm here for this. Okay, you won me over. I'm good. I don't care. This is fun.
I don't know what Donkey Kong sounds like in the games. Does he have a voice in the games?
He had a voice in an animated series that was pretty close to Seth Rogen.
Really? Okay. Yeah. So I don't know why I pictured him like not being able to speak properly. Like he was just like a monkey, and he wasn't as smart.
He
as,
can
like,
tie
King
a
Kong or
bow
something.
tie. He's pretty smart. It's not.
But it was like a clip-on,
No,
so I
yeah.
thought that was part of it. Like he's kind of dumb.
like they're not gonna make custom clip-ons like that. Come on. Though
Who knows with it?
I had fun. I had fun with it. Like the only thing that irked me was Mario's voice. So I'm like, I can't. It was just inconsistent. Like it drove me insane. The rest of it though was freaking fun. And I
It
finally
was a lot of fun. Yeah.
watch it the second Shazam movie.
Oh yeah.
Where they couldn't figure out the name, his superhero name. And it's like, what do you think it is? Oh, it's Shazam.
Yeah. That.
Oh, that movie was better. It was still a CGI fight fest,
Yeah.
but it was fun.
It was better than I thought.
I'm so ready to be done with this version of the DC universe.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm all on board for James Gunn, whatever he's gonna do.
Though I don't want to lose Peacemaker. Like Peacemaker was a fun series.
No, but that's his show. There's no
Yeah.
way we're gonna lose that. He's keeping all his stuff.
Yeah, of course.
in the end credits of Shazam, is that the two people from Peacemaker?
yeah,
Oh, the Justice
hardcore
Society.
and hardcore and
that the IT
Jesse,
guy.
I think his name was.
Okay.
They were both in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
I was like, that's hardcore. Oh man, but yeah, no,
all the James Gunn projects.
yeah, but dude. Oh, fuck it. Okay, I remember watching the intro for Peacemaker. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh my God.
And then I get to the end of
I
the
love that.
scenes, and I'm like, this is now sad. I was like, this is a very sad
Yeah.
intro.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We are sitting an hour and a half.
All right. You want to close it out here?
I think we could, yeah. Let's still have to do something.
We opened 0 toys.
I know.
Yeah.
I put stuff in my cart though. I had the Tyrannosaurus in my cart. This Itchy, Scratchy, and Mo. I'm not
There
gonna
you
buy
go.
Poochie until he goes on sale.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Why he isn't on sale?
Though I'm gonna use this code in the back of this magazine I got from Entertainment Earth to get a free one free Black Series just because.
Send it to me. I'll unbox it.
No.
I'm just
Can
gonna
you use that one and the free shipping one? Because
Yeah.
you should probably use the free shipping one.
Oh.
yeah, using the free shipping one right now. So you're going to use one?
I don't know. Maybe you can
Oh,
maybe you can use multiple.
It says enter their source code. Look at the off code and payments and billing section.
Oh, okay.
So you can use both.
you
Also, I got one of the Lego Mando helmets, right?
Oh,
This
that's nice.
thing is thick. Like it's
Yeah.
multiple layers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Is it solid? There's not hollow.
It's a full it's
Lot
fully
of bricks.
solid. Like
There you go.
I don't know if you can see into the bottom. Like it is
wow.
solid. It took like 2 hours to make it.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's pretty quick for Lego.
ridiculous. Yeah, I thought it was just going to be like 20 minutes, knock it out, done. No, 2 hours later, I'm like, this is a big block.
It's an adult collectible. I got to put some hours
Like
into
I'm gonna
it.
get more of them because I want more of them because they took so long to make it. They look pretty damn fun.
I looked at some Lego sets. I was like, there's no way this Ecto one is like $200.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the big one.
Yeah, the big Ecto one Lego. And I was like, no way. No.
There's like a bootleg one you can get
Yeah, this
from
is
like
ones.
Facebook ads
Yeah.
or whatever that site is that
Oh.
sells bootleg Legos.
Yeah.
Little questionable one sitting there, like maybe.
Oh my God.
It's probably worth it. It's like $20. Why not?
Probably is a
Yeah.
key word there. All right, but let's wrap this one up.
All right. Thanks again for listening to this episode of Zero to Hero with me, Billy, Jim, and our guest Paul from the Reluctant Adult Podcast. Paul, you have any last words to say? Any plugs?
Subscribe to Pixel Dan on YouTube. Buy his He-Man book. Buy his Major Bendy, available at PowerCon. Yeah, just make sure you do all those things.
Where can people find you?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to find me?
Yeah.
You can find us on the Reluctant Adult Podcast every Monday-ish on the podcast, and the full show goes up on YouTube around Tuesday night, and then on TikTok, breaking down all of the my favorite clips of the week. All the clips going to be a 1 minute plus now because I'm in the creator fund, so all my clips need to be over a minute to get that sweet cash.
Ooh.
Oh,
So please subscribe. Go Power Rangers.
hey, there
There
you
you
go.
go.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, Billy. Where can people find you at, Billy?
Well, we're on all our socials at zeotohero. That is with the ZEO. Boy.
ZERO, right?
Come on.
We even have shirts that say Zeo. Come on.
Come on.
You should put like get the R out, like what WWF changed. It was like get the F out.
Oh.
It's like we really need to make this clear. There's no R in this.
We have a little thing underneath it, like Zeo, with like a little arrow down that's like R that's crossed out.
Yeah.
Crossed out, yeah.
We could do that. I'm always looking to make better merch.
All right.
You can make the R like Toys R Us, like backwards. Like really,
Oh.
like combine all the references into one.
That's
Just
doable.
keep going with it, yeah.
All
All
right.
right, Billy. Where can people find me?
Well, you can find
I'm
me.
cut off.
Okay. Well, I don't know where you at. Not so
I don't
funny,
know.
Jim.
I don't know. I'm just gonna go with it. All right, guys.
But thanks again, Paul, for joining us.
Yeah,
that was
thanks
fun.
for joining us for this nonsense.
This was great.
Carousel
If
of
Bill-
random thoughts, basically.
If Bill ever dies when I kill him,
Uh-oh.
we can just combine our shows and be the Reluctant Zeo podcast.
I like that. That has a nice ring to it.
Reluctant Ranger podcast. That's
Oh.
not bad, right?
All right, so
Ranger no
we
more.
gotta go take care of Phil, right?
Yeah.
We got this. Let's go.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, who? Phil?
Phil. It's
I thought
Bill.
we were gonna kill the
Bill.
hamster,
Who's what?
What? What's the hamster?
Who's the
the
hand?
one in Philadelphia.
Oh my God.
The one's like always wrong about the weather. Is this some bullshit?
The gopher?
The gopher.
Yes.
The groundhog?
Let's go take his groundhog.
Is it snowing where you guys are?
No,
I don't
it's-
understand what's
It
happening.
makes no sense. He's always wrong. He's only right 20% of the time, and we still do this nonsense.
Oh, okay. I don't know where you're going with that, but
Makes a lot of money for Puxatawny.
yeah, I will.
right.
I'll
It was
put.
a great movie with Bill Murray. One
Yeah.
of my favorites.
There's also a great skit on Pinky the Brain. So yeah,
There you
Huh?
we're good. All right,
All right.
let's get out of here.
See ya.
Bye.
go. Bye.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you.
Do you want to be a hero, but you're not? Do you want to be a Jiro or a Kojiro, but you can't because you're not Japanese? Have you considered Zeo to hero?
Remember, heroes come and go. Idiots are forever.
Jubilee!
Who dis?
Hey, is this Jim?
Maybe.
Oh, great. I'm Billy. I've been trying to contact you for weeks about your podcast extended warranty.
Oh no, not again!
But listen, I got some great deals about the Zeo to Hero podcast. Do you have a minute to listen?
Can I take a phone survey afterwards and just put negative reviews?
Yeah, no. But listen here. We range from 90s Power Rangers, 90s nostalgia, giant robots, interrogating cosplayers, maybe even moon landing. But you gotta listen in each week to find out what kind of shenanigans and numbskullery we get into with us or our guest of the week.
Can I hang up now?
Yeah, there's gonna be a phone survey in about 15 minutes, all right?
You're gonna call back, right?
No, not me. It's an automated message.
Okay. Tired of these dang stupid spam calls in the middle of dinner.